hide under a rock. No. Hide under your bed. In fact, you know what? Hide under a rock, under your bed, and don't come out. The inflation is killing everybody. You need to stop eating. You need to stop buying homes. Stop investing. And actually, stop listening to people giving you bad advice. You need to live your life. Stick around in this video and we'll talk about the economy. We'll talk about why I think these guys are nuts. And we'll go on from there. Good morning. My name is Adam Kahn and I'm the Rational Investor. Today is Saturday, March 2nd. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome from, I'd like to say sunny Las Vegas, but my God, the reason I'm talking so loud is it's windy as can be. I'm waiting for the rain to come if it comes. It's pretty nice out in some ways because I like when the weather mixes it up. Before I get into the video, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. I really appreciate it. Make some comments. Let me know what you guys think about the video and what we talk about today. It's kind of interesting how some of my favorite YouTubers actually I completely disagree with, but I still find them entertaining and I like the content. They're super negative about everything. They're talking about how the housing market's going to collapse, the equity market's going to collapse. You need to, save your cash, which I agree with saving your money. I don't want to say not to save because that's something I believe in. Now, again, you guys need to do your own research. This is not by any means any financial advice. This is just my opinions and what I've done in my life and what works for me. You guys shouldn't listen to me, or part of the whole point of the video is anyone for that matter. But you can't live your life scared. You have to go about day after day with your job, making your money, save what you can. But I totally believe in buying homes and investing in equities and everything else. I think the advice of these people, because they think it's overpriced, we've proven time and time again that trying to time the market is just silly. And who knows how we'll play out of this. And actually, I don't even agree. I think the economy is okay. There are always people struggling. And unfortunately, in the comment section on the videos of the people who are super negative, you get all these people that are blaming the government and blaming corporate greed and making all sorts of excuses of why things are awful and saying how it's got to change. Unfortunately, it doesn't have to change. Like, life goes on, the economy moves on, and you want corporations to have greed. Their goal is to make money. They aren't a charity, and charities are great too. And if you believe in giving back and helping the community, which I do, we give our time. We're doing this softball league soon for people who need help, and I'm super excited to do it, and we give money as well. And I'm happy to help where I can. But companies are not charities, and their goals are to earn money and do good for their investors and everything else. Getting mad at that just seems silly to me, and I wouldn't want to get stuck in a rut blaming the government and blaming politics and blaming CEOs because I need to get past that and figure out what works for me to make my life better. I understand the feeling that life is not fair, but life is not fair to everyone, which was what makes it fair. We're born with whatever we're born with, and we use those tools to do whatever we can to improve our life for our family and our friends and whoever it is that's important to us. And I got to tell you, I think right now is a great time to invest. I keep putting as much as I can away. And again, not financial advice because I don't want you following this. Like, it looks like crypto is having a great run and the stock markets are, and I don't think it's finished. I get that things look expensive, but what I find is when people are scared and the money is on the sideline and they're watching it going, geez, I can't believe it keeps going, is when it keeps going. Until you get into an Uber and the Uber driver is talking about the stock market or housing or crypto or whatever it is. Generally, until you see those signs or you go somewhere and the receptionist at a hotel or the waiter or the waitress, when the whole world is talking about investments and saying it's just going to keep going. Oh my God, you get so rich doing this. That's generally the sign of a bubble. A bubble is not a scenario where everybody's nervous, pointing to all sorts of data points as to why the crash is coming. I understand that credit card debt has gone up. I understand that credit card rates have gone up significantly, and that if you owe $1,000, that your payment for the minimum has gone up dramatically. But all of these things are not anything that anybody else is not aware of. Interest rates are higher, mortgages are higher, prices have gone up, the cost of price to earnings versus what people make versus the price of a home is higher than it's been in however long it's been. This is not anything the markets are not aware of. Of course, if there's some black swan event, and we have a lot of world turmoil in the news that could turn into something. But again, the algorithms and things take all of this into account when they're pricing things. And I see a ton of things that look like good value, and I think they're going to continue to run. My God, and I don't even own it, but I'm jealous. I think Nvidia's probably going to be trading $2,000 a share before some correction comes and it drops back to 1,000, or whatever the numbers are. But I don't think the run is finished. I think at some point it will, but it doesn't feel like we're already there. The other thing, and this kind of bothers me, I don't understand why somebody's suggesting to somebody that maybe they should buy a home if prices drop, that's some culpability that they gave bad advice. But continuing to suggest not to buy a home while prices have gone up extremely a ton, as well as interest rates have gone from 3% and even some sub 3% all the way up to running in the 7s and even the 8s for some people, that how there's no culpability for that. And again, while I like these guys and I find their channels entertaining, I do think there should be a little bit of responsibility on that end as well, of constantly telling people not to buy. I don't know which is better advice, which is why you need to make your own decisions on what it works for you. But if I were working a job and didn't already own my house, I would be doing whatever I could to be saving my down payment and buying a home for me and my family. Why? It gives me security. If I were still 20, 22 and not married, maybe I don't need to buy a home because who knows if I'm even going to stay in the city I'm in. But at this stage of my life, I want the security for my son and my kid and my wife that we're not really going anywhere. And the school that we go to is the school that we go to, and things aren't going to change. So as long as I'm in the position that I can comfortably afford the monthly payments, and I really mean that, the advice is not overstretch and buy some home you can't afford. Stay within your means. And I'm a loan officer, and I will tell you that the algorithm that we use will push people a little too far, in my opinion. I'm not sure why we allow them to qualify for what we do, and unfortunately, people want to qualify for the most that they can, and the reality is I'm not even supposed to give that advice if I shouldn't think you should go that far if you want to. So it puts us in this real awkward position that if you qualify for more than I think you really should, all I'm supposed to do is tell you what you qualify for and let you make those decisions, because it's not my place to give you advice on that level. But back to my point is, if you can easily afford your monthly payments and you have enough to put the down payment and have some savings in the account, I don't see what the problem is with buying a home. If the prices drop, I don't mean it flippantly, but oh well, like, it's okay. If you can still easily afford those payments, why worry about today's value? And if you stay with the home for 10, 20, 30 years, my guess is in 20 years, whether it goes up or down next month really isn't going to matter, because in 20 years, I'm guessing you've done okay. And if you're like me and you just want to live in the house and you don't worry about it and your kid will hopefully inherit it one day, what do I care if it's worth a lot or a little for him? It's just a gift that he gets to get, and if it's worth a lot, wonderful. And if it's fallen in value, well, too bad, maybe I made a bad decision. what I find is the earlier you put money in, the longer you give it, and you leave it alone, the better you do. You put it away as early as possible for as long as possible so that compounding interest gives you the best ability for that money to continue to grow. If you put $1,000 away today and in 7 years it's grown to 2,000, well, now another 7 years it's 4,000 and so on. So the earlier you give it, the bigger number it becomes, and the bigger number allows to grow from there. That's the idea of compounding interest. It just works on itself, and you do the best you can to save as much as possible. The comments, they get so negative and so complaining. Meanwhile, I go out and everybody's buying Starbucks and avocado toast and all these super foo-foo expensive things. Well, somewhere the money's coming from, and I know a lot of people are struggling, and I apologize. I don't want you getting all pissed at me that, oh, it's so easy or whatever goes through your head. I just think, maybe I grew up in a different era, and you just push through and do the best you can and stay within budget. That's my advice. Stay within budget, do the best you can, save as much as you can now for today. And I love talking about stocks. I will continue to give you my stock picks every week or however often when I see something that looks attractive. There are so many that I love that I think are good investments that look cheap to me. Anyway, hope your day went well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Hope you have great weather, even though the funny thing is I actually like this weather. Again, subscribe, like, comment, and have a great day.